Hi friends! So this video is very unplanned and random. I was actually laying in bed, tired as fuck, and I couldn't stop thinking about possibly making a new video and what it would be about. And I was like, well, I haven't talked about what I read in the month of, excuse me, miss, what I read in the month. Can you? Oh my god. Hold on, this bitch is. Mama. Okay. Oh my god. She's taking my fucking blanket. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. I'm back. That was, So anyways, what was I saying? I wanted to talk about what I read in February. Um, because I just realized there were a lot of good books that I had spoken about to other people that I was like, wait, I haven't spoken about them on here. And I just really wanted to talk about what I read for the month of February, which I feel like I had some really good ones. So let me go ahead. I have my Goodreads up on here, and I'm going to go through just because I can't fucking remember shit. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. This is exciting. I honestly never use Goodreads on the computer. Read. Okay, let's go back to what I read. Does it say the dates here just so I can? Date read. Okay. Here, I will start at the bottom for February. Okay, so we're starting with everything that I read for the month of February in 2025 so far. So I am excited about that. So let's go ahead and see the first book. Okay. So the first book that I read for the month of February was the Mindfuck series, book 2, Sidetracked. I'm holding my Kindle just because I don't have the book, but I read it on my Kindle, so I love that for me. So Sidetracked was really good. This is by St. Abby. Stabby. It is, right? That it has to be. And she also, I noticed she uses the word stabby a lot in her book. And I was like, wait, are you stabby? But I'm so sad because I found out that the author has passed, and that is very sad. I'm sad that that happened, and I just became a fan of this book. But regardless, I loved it. It was pretty good. However, these books to me, a lot of people give them 5 stars, 4 stars. To me, it was a 3-star. I enjoyed it. It was good for what it was, but it was very much just like a fun book to pass the time for me. I don't even know what to say. There was a lot going on. Definitely it started getting a lot better towards the end of the books. I was kind of like, what's going to happen? I didn't know what to expect, but without any spoilers, I have gone this whole time without being spoiled. Also, I have my blankie on because it's like cold in here and I want to be comfy. So I have my blankie on, so I'm sorry. I just realized I probably look like a trash person, but I'm not. So anyways, yeah. So I did really enjoy it, but it's a 3-star. It's not like the best book I've ever read, but it's also not like the worst. I wasn't mad about it. I was enjoying it while I read it, but there was nothing in there that made it remarkable to me that I was like, oh my god, I want to recommend this to everybody. It was very interesting for what it was, but once I stopped reading it, I was over it. I was ready for the next thing. I did not stop and think. I was not like, oh my god, that book was crazy. I need to read that again. I need to tell everybody. I told some people. I didn't tell everybody. It was whatever, but good, not bad. So with that being said, I gave that 3 stars. After that, I immediately read the Mindfuck series book 3, Scarlet Angel. Also gave that 3 stars as well. I didn't put any notes on those here. So I'm thinking I probably felt the same way about them. Like I was just like, okay. And then here I basically finished the entire series in February. So after that, I read All the Lies, Mindfuck Book 4, and Paint It All Red, Mindfuck Series Book 5. So that is when the ratings started to go up for me. They are now up to 4 stars. So I'm assuming that's when shit got juicy. That's when, like, tension was high. I remember there were points where I was, like, gripping my pearls. And I was like, oh my god, like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, oh my god, like, you know. So I was starting to enjoy it a lot more. I did rate the last 2 4 stars each. And you know what? It looks like the people on Goodreads kind of agree with my mindset, because when I look at it, I do also notice that the other books have they're all very highly rated, but the other books in the series have slightly like 4.39, 4.36, and then the last books in the whole series go up to like 4.56, 4.52. So I think that it isn't just a me thing. Like, obviously, like, a lot more was going on towards the end. Tension was bubbling, and there was just a lot more going on. So they did get better. I did like the ending. I thought it was a really nice way to wrap up the series, and I'm really glad that I did read it. Then in between that, I have a book that I was very excited about when I heard about it. And then when I read it, I was just kind of like, oh, and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean, because this author, the fuck, it was better before I touched it, honestly. It was better before I fucking touched it. Honestly. Okay. Ew. Hold on. What the fuck? What the? It's so good. I had to get my Olipop. I'm having root beer today. Anyways, let me put this down. So anyways, yeah. So the next book is something I really thought I would like. For me, if I see anything, what the fuck, that says it's about vampires, I will be picking it up. I will be reading it. I will be very critical of it. I love a good vampire book. Oh fuck, that'd be a good idea to do like a video, all of vampire recommendations. And when I say vampire recommendations, I'm talking going to the multiverse. I'm talking about, we're going to be doing all forms of vampire media. We're going to be doing no, I want to keep it literature, but I want to get into vampire manga and vampire books and vampire webtoons, manhwa, other comics. Just because I actually have a wide form of like media that I like to read, and there's just so many things that I enjoy. There's a lot of good vampire anime, and I feel like a lot of the book girlies here do not like anime and manga, and that's totally valid, but then there are some that are willing to like dabble to and from. And there's just some really good vampire mangas that I want to put in a video with other vampire literature that I really, really liked. But anyways, that is a whole separate thing. Let me know if that's something you'd want to see, because I feel like that would be amazing, because the world of manga is so good. It's so fun. I see a lot of very original ideas, and it's crazy because it's like already been written as a manga or a comic or whatever. So it's like, if you only stick to one form of like, you know, regular published novels or something like that, there's so many things that you would never like get to experience. But I'm going to tell you about it, because you're going to experience it, and you're going to smile while you experience it, because I said. Anyways, so the book that I am talking about is This Blood That Binds Us by S.L. Coakley. And as I was saying earlier, S.L. Coakley is so cute. I've been following her on Instagram for a while. I have seen her on TikTok, and she was so adorable. I love the way she does her makeup, and she does these really cute little, she says they're like pastel vampire books. And she has said herself that her books are, you know, inspired by the Twilight universe, but they're in college. And, you know, so I don't know how to explain this because how I feel about this is very complex. I love Twilight and I love anything vampires. I, for one, am one of those weird people that actually I fucking love the Vampire Diaries books. I hate the show. I can't stand the show. I've tried to watch it so many times. Yes, the people are hot. Yes, like I love Nina Dobrev. There's so many reasons why I want to force myself to love that show and I just can't. I just don't. So with that being said, I will try with my whole pussy to love something just because I want to. And this didn't work for me, and this was something that I was putting my whole chest into. I had tried to read it physically, well, you know, physically on ebook. I tried to read it manually, and then I also tried the audiobooks that are on Hoopla now, in case you are wondering. I believe she took them off Kindle Unlimited, but if you want to read them, they're probably on Libby, but they're for sure on Hoopla with your library for free. And something about it, okay, one, am I really gonna fucking rant on here? I think I'm gonna fucking rant on here. Don't get mad, Queen, I love you. Don't get mad, S.L. Coakley, because I am your fan. I'm a fan of you, not your books, but I'm a fan of you. So this Blood That Binds Us, there were a couple things that really bothered me. One of them being, like, come on, girl. So the vampire brothers and the family, their last name is, I think it's Callum. Callum, like, could you not have done something farther off from Cullen, like Edward Cullen? It was like Aaron Callum. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It just sounded very like, you know, and it could be just like, oh, an ode to Twilight, because, you know, she does say, she compares her own book a lot to Twilight. So that's not just some shit that, like, some assumption I'm making. She always says, like, oh, if you love Twilight, you'll like my books. My books are like this, you know. That one thing, I was like, okay, like, you could have done something a little different. Another thing that bothered me was the family. So she has this family, which is supposed to be like a higher up, kind of like a gang type thing, of like higher up, older, more powerful vampires. And what I don't like is how she kind of had to put that in there when that's a very, like, I don't know, it seems like she was trying to do her own version of the Volturi. And I'm just like, I don't know, like, we've already seen this. We've already, like, it didn't feel that good, that original. It didn't feel like it's really its own story. It just didn't do it for me, because it got to the point where I'm sitting there and honestly, I was just like, I would rather read Twilight right now. I'm not interested. And I love, like I said, I like shitty vampire media too. I do. Vampire Kisses. I loved Vampire Kisses. It was so good. And that one's like a middle grade book. Like, there is no spice. They're like preteens, I think, barely teenagers, probably like 13 or something. And I ate that shit up. I thought it was so good. I bought all the books. They were amazing. They were so good. And I was just like, you know, I can consume something and it's not the greatest, but I'm still like enjoying myself, and I just wasn't here. I was just kind of hoping for it to be over. And I didn't really like it. I gave it 2 stars. I vaguely remember what happened, but I got so bored and I just wanted to read regular Twilight. I didn't want to read this weird version that she wrote. Not that it's weird. I don't want to be a bitch. I just wasn't into it. It wasn't for me. I'm very sad. I wanted it to be for me, but it didn't hit. Part of me, she's coming out with a new series that's she's coming out with a new series that is werewolf based. And I kind of wanted to read that, but then I saw that she kind of includes the characters from this Blood That Binds Us in there, and that kind of caught, I believe it's going to be interconnected, you know, like universes. And I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't want anything about This Blood That Binds Us in another book that I'm reading because I don't like it. So I'm so sorry. I really wish I liked it. I wanted to like it. I thought they were so cute. I thought that she was so cute. I fell in love with the idea of her. Not who the books were as a person. So I learned my lesson. With that being said, after that, so yeah, that was 2 stars for This Blood That Binds Us by S.L. Coakley. After that, I read Sinner, which is the second Priest book by Sierra Simone, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. This is not by any means like an amazing piece of literature. This is so fun. It's just like about like a man whore who, I don't know if I should spoil it, but basically, if you have read Priest, which I did read Priest, I think I gave that 3 or 4 stars. It was pretty fun. I liked Sinner so much more. I thought Sinner was so good. So this one revolves around his brother. So, you know, it's like each book, I believe, is about one of the brothers of the main character from Priest. So his brother, he is like a man whore. He just does whatever the fuck he wants. He's a selfish businessman. You know, he gets around. And so there is the little sister of a very close family friend of theirs, and she is going to become a nun. And she basically asks him, like, hey girl, like, can you like show me how to fuck? Can you like give me those experiences? And he's like, oh my god, like, this is my friend's little sister, the fuck? But he's like, yeah. And, you know, she's like, hey, don't fall in love with me. We already know like what's gonna happen. And she's going to go off and become a nun, and he is doing this for her and slowly kind of realizing like, oh my gosh, she is amazing and I love her. And yeah, so I mean, come on now, what did you expect? Let's be honest, what did you expect? This was 4 stars because it was even better than Priest. I liked Priest. I know some people didn't like Priest. This one was so good. Female main character is a woman of color as well. There's like some funny dialogue in there about how, like, her pillowcase, like she brings a pillowcase to his house and he's like, what's wrong with my pillowcases? Why can't you use mine? What's wrong with mine? And she's like, well, this one's good for my hair. And he's, fuck you mean this one's good for your hair? And she's like, it's black girl hair. And he's like shook, like never heard of this in his life. Like, it was amazing. She was great. She was a very good female main character, and he changed as a character. So it was great. That was 4 stars. Then we have, I've already talked about these. I've made a whole rant. I don't think I gave like my ratings and everything, but I did a reread in February of You Love Me, which is the 3rd book in the You series by Caroline Kepnes. And then for the first time after that, I read For You and Only You by Caroline Kepnes as well, also part of the You series. I'm very passionate about the You series. I did a whole rant video already talking about it. I believe it was in the first decorating my Kindle insert video, if you want to go and look at that. I have a lot of very strong feelings about it, but, excuse me. So I have a lot of really strong feelings about it, but for You Love Me, I remember really liking that book, and I had already rated it 5 stars. So I wanted to go back in and warm up before reading For You and Only You, which was the last book. I believe it's the final book. And again, it was a 5 stars. I really liked it. I think that Joe's commentary on his social commentary on, you know, people and trends is just fucking hilarious. The audiobooks, the narrator does an incredible job of like getting the tone. It's like these books are so funny. It's like not like just like a comedy book. It's so funny. His humor is hilarious. I love the story of You Love Me. I like that, you know, his new site is, you know, like a single mom, but it turns out not to be like quite the situation you think it is. The way it ends continues to have me fucking shaking. I remember the first time I read it, like literally covering my mouth, clutching my pearls again, and being shook as fuck because I really thought that would be it. I thought that was the last of it. And so when I heard finally that For You and Only You had come out, I was shook, which I'm going to jump into right now. So For You and Only You, on Goodreads, the rating's kind of low. It's 3.30. I gave that a 5 stars. I loved it. I feel like the books stay clever. This one was amazing to me. It was so fun to see Joe take on a different role. I don't think this is a spoiler at all. I think that this is in the synopsis, but in this book, he decides, let me just confirm 1 second. Oh, okay, yeah, so this book, it even says like on the blurb about it, that at this book, he instead is not working at a bookstore or anything anymore. He is trying to write books. He's trying to be a writer this time. Of course, there's a new love interest in here, but it's just so funny because like, he has this like complex, it's crazy to be in his mind, and it's crazy that he's not a real person because the thoughts that he has are fucking insane. And just his commentary on everything, he's like thinks that he's so much better than people. He's like, oh, these rich bitches, Harvard bitches are acting like that, and they don't know real art, they don't know real writing, and he just says the funniest shit. Like, he thinks he's so full of himself, and then there's even moments where he gets humbled and he's like, oh, fuck. It's just so funny. He's hilarious. I love his character. He is so fucking funny. The end of the You series was great. If this is, I believe the 4th book is the final. I don't know why, but I loved it. It kind of gave me remnants of, like, I don't want, everybody compares something to this, but of, like, American Psycho. Just something about what he does at the end. I don't even know how to say it. It's so good. Please read it. I love them. I love these books. These are probably like, these are God tier books for me. And I've been on BookTube for a bit and I hear a lot of mixed opinions on them. I hear people say they don't like them or they were good. I tell everybody to read them. I don't like the show, unfortunately. But I gave both of those. So You Love Me, 5 stars, and For You and Only You, 5 stars, both by Caroline Kepnes. Incredible, amazing. I already want to reread them. I'm going to be purchasing the full series because these I just love. They're so good. I really think everybody should read them. They're hilarious. Joe is such a complex character, and I find that the challenges that he faces and the depth of what he's willing to go through for these people, and like, it's hilarious. I don't want to like skip like 10 seconds, but I just think it's hilarious because towards the end, it's like, no matter how hard this man tries to be good, I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna be fucking crazy. It's like something still goes wrong for him, and I just think it's hilarious watching him deal with it, and I can't help but semi feel bad for him. It was great. Amazing. After that, I read Chlorine by Jade Song. I thought this was incredible. I gave that one 4 stars. This is more of a lit fic horror, and it starts off very slow. I think I mentioned this in another video, but I heard about this from Wicked Reading, which I love her. She's amazing. If you don't watch Wicked Reading, I would definitely try it. Because she has really good recommendations, really good videos. I believe things are kind of on a hold right now for her. She's a little slower with uploading because she's currently pregnant, so congratulations, girl. And so anyways, we have Chlorine by Jade Song, and that one I gave 4 stars. This one was so crazy because it follows this girl, and she is, you know, what is her name? I have to see. I don't know why I just fucking... What was her name? What was her name? They're comparing it to the Pisces. That is not at all like the Pisces, the book, but... let me see. What was her name? Her name is Ren. Okay, so this follows Ren. She is a swimmer, and she loves swimming. It's her passion. She's so fucking into it. She eats, breathes, fucking... lives swimming. Like, that's just her whole life. That's the most important thing in her life to her. She also, since the beginning of her, the beginning of the story, she constantly messes, what the fuck am I saying? She constantly references mermaids and how she's so obsessed with mermaids and that she thinks she's meant to be a mermaid. And how that kind of plays into her fascination with mermaids. There also is a bit of like a sapphic, hints of a sapphic romance in there. It is not a romance by any means, and there's just kind of, it's hints of them. So don't go in here looking for like a full lesbian romance. That's not what's going on, but it is really good. It's very interesting because we start with someone that we think is just very focused on her craft, very smart, and then it kind of discusses her going through becoming, you know, a woman, growing up, girlhood, and kind of trying to find out who she is and become who she feels she is. And it gets a little gruesome at the end. It kind of turns obsessive. It's definitely one of those slower lit fic horrors. I mean, I'm sure if you're used to reading those, you already know what I'm talking about. Where things kind of, for the most part, seem okay, but then weird things happen, and then by the end, it's just like, what is going on? This shit was wild. I've been thinking about it every day since I read it. I think it's so good. I can't say too much about it without really giving it away, but I'm gonna leave it there, and if you are interested, I would highly check it out. I think that it's so good. If you liked The Eyes Are the Best Part, I think you would love this book. They're not the same type of story, but it's just like that same more lit fic horror, not so much in your face horror, just like slowly processing it and realizing, and then the truth is like horrifying type shit. So I highly recommend. I loved that book. That was great. Let's go see. So after that I read Big Swiss, which I did rate 4 stars. And Big Swiss, I read that between ebook and audiobook. And I rated that 4 stars because I thought it was so much fun. I don't know if I want to rate it a 5 or 4. I think I'm going to stay with a 4. That one was really good. That is a literary fiction book with a, with a sapphic romance in there as well. I really liked this book mostly because it was just fucking hilarious. The main character, Greta, is just so out of pocket. She just says shit. What the hell? She just says shit and does shit that I think is hilarious. I wanted to be her friend, and it was just wild seeing her go through the shit that she did. And I realize I'm just like saying a bunch of random shit. If you don't know what Big Swiss is, it is a very controversial book. People keep saying it's banned, but like I found it pretty easily. So basically it's about Greta, and she is a transcriptionist for a sex and relationship therapist, and she kind of becomes infatuated with one of the patients that she transcribes, and she calls her Big Swiss. And yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but it is a lit fic. It's a very fun, and there is a bit of a romance in here. It's not a romance book, I wouldn't say, but this woman is married, and you know, she's kind of just like eavesdropping, being nosy on her everyday life, and kind of becomes infatuated with her and wants to know more about her. So I thought that was really interesting because I just feel like something like this could so easily happen. And she's very nosy. She has a lot of like past trauma, which is kind of insane to hear about. This woman, Greta, her past trauma is kind of insane. She talks about her childhood, growing up, and then we kind of also get into more about her and Big Swiss and what comes of that. So that was great. Again, for me, I rated that one 4 stars, so that one I was very happy with. Okay. And then we have one last one that I actually read and finished because I am reading more right now. So the next one that we're going to talk about is Blob, A Love Story by Maggie Sue. That one I rated 3 stars, and I keep going back and thinking if I want to change that rating. I really liked it. So Blob was about a blob. No, really though. Blob was about this woman. I think her name was Violet, and they called her Vi. So Vi has a job, and she has recently gotten out of a messy relationship with somebody that she was really interested in. She's kind of like a weird woman that, you know, is dealing with a lot. She has a lot going on her plate. She works at a job that just pisses her off. And did I make that up? I don't think so. I remember her making comments about her job. But she basically finds a blob, I think by like a dumpster outside of a club, and she ends up taking it home with her and doesn't know like what to do with it. And it seems like it's growing. Well, basically she is like, you know, I think I'll just raise this blob. And I don't know if I can say what happens. Again, this is a weird girl lit fic book. I don't even know how to describe this. So what they say is a hilarious and moving debut novel about a young woman who decides to turn a sentient blob into her perfect boyfriend. That is perfect. Yes. So, what the fuck am I even talking about? Why am I here? Like, why am I here? I don't know. Because that said it way better. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. Anyways, it was great. So the blob ends up she realizes that it's kind of capable of understanding and maintaining information, and she tries to see what she can do with that. And like, oh, could he do this? And she even like gets pictures of like, you know, like famous men, like actors and shit that she thinks is hot, and she's like, can you be this? Like, can you do this? And it's just hilarious. And honestly, I loved what this story did with the ending. I think that it could have went a million ways, and I'm so shocked and surprised at how it ended. I even was like, I did not see that coming. It really is humbling. It's a humbling story. It really is like, well, we don't always get what we want type thing. And I loved it. I thought it was great. Sorry. Okay, and then, yeah, that was all that I actually read for February. I have a bunch of books that I'm reading right now that I started even reading in February, and I'm not done. I don't know why. Oh, I have like, in my currently reading, now that I'm on here, I feel like attacked, but now that I'm on here, I have, oh my god, I have 14 books in my currently reading. Oh, shit. Okay, you know what? Next video. Not next video. Fuck. Okay, we'll see. I have my vampire idea planned. But I do want to do a whole video where I finish my currently reading and clear it out brand new. I am not going to start any other books until I finish this, is what I just decided. Yeah, no, I need to finish this now. I need to finish. I'm really bothered. Like, I feel unsafe right now in my own home. So I am going to have to finish these, and this will be a video. I'll have to finish my 14 currently reading books. Some of these I haven't even fucking touched in months. So we will be doing that. And now I'm gonna go and cry and have a crisis. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.